So now we will gonna begin our conversation. We will gonna start by exploring your soul's history. Then we will gonna move to some of the pictures that you have sent. After that, maybe there's gonna be some kind of questions that we will gonna be willing to explore, and we will see what's gonna happen next. So we will gonna start. Maybe you have something to say. Maybe you would like to say something before we begin. Okay. So with that, we will gonna begin. We will gonna begin with 5 seconds concentration exercise, by which we are going to concentrate inside, and we are going to create intention that we want to see your soul history. And by that, after you will feel ready, please confirm that by statement that you want your soul readings to begin by saying, "Please open my soul records." We are looking at the soul records. The soul has been born in this universe. Soul seems to be originated in a neighboring galaxy, that is Andromeda galaxy. Soul seems to be quite old comparatively, meaning that it has an age which comes approximately near 1 billion years, a little bit less. Soul seems to have originated more like a functional soul. It appears that there have been certain functions which needed to be performed in the Andromeda galaxy. It was something associated with some kind of, let's call it, energy mechanics. It was something, some strange position, which from our perspective would seem strange. That is, in the energy plane, that meaning 4th and 5th dimensions, there are something which we call etheric templates, which means that things that we see in physical world, they are as we think they are, but actually before they become real in physical 3D world, they are imagined and created in the etheric plane, which is between 3rd dimension and 4th dimension. And beings who are in a 4th and 5th dimensions, they are working with those etheric templates and are creating things. And this, some kind of energy mechanics, is something which your soul was like educated in and was a professional in. And by this kind of job, your soul was creating like templates for creation of the world. Usually when the new world is being created, like a planet for example, or solar system or something like that, we need a blueprint for that creation. And well, in a sense, this is something that your soul was occupied with. It was creation of those blueprints on the etheric plane. And it was occupied with that occupation. It was actually created by some, let's call them, godly beings who have created certain souls for certain functions. And your soul has been created for that. And after that, it was working for many millions of years only with that. Generally, mostly within the Andromeda galaxy, there were certain or some projects outside of the Andromeda galaxy, in the neighboring galaxies, but generally usually within the Andromeda galaxy. And there were no physical body. Physical body would be considered as abnormality. It was usually used only for field testing. That is, for example, if you have created something and you needed to field test how it works and how are the surroundings there, how you have created them, then you can jump into the body for a short period of time just to field test it. But usually it was without a body. And it was like that for millions of years, up until approximately 750,000 years ago. Your soul has been called in our Milky Way galaxy. The reason being because there have been lots of wars in here, and there have been need for some advanced beings who could help to fix or repair or improve things around here. Usually the problem was that during the wars there have been a lot of destruction, and the idea was to somehow either improve the blueprints, the etheric blueprints, so that things wouldn't be destroyed so easily, or at least repair things as fast as possible so that people could proceed with their lives again. So there have been a lot of work in that, usually also non-physical, and there have been workings with different types of star systems within our galaxy. It appears that the most work has been performed within the Orion constellation, and it was organized from Auriga constellation. Now, regarding the planet Earth, it appears that the contract has been signed around 50,000 years ago. The idea was to work in the civilization known as Atlantis. That civilization have experienced quite a few wars also and needed some help in repairing. Therefore, this contract has been signed, and the contract seemed to be... it was like an open contract actually, which meant that you will be on this planet as long as you are needed. And for a long time it has been spent on the Atlantis. But around 13,000 years ago, Atlantis has been destroyed and sunk down. And well, after that, our civilization has experienced something which we know as Stone Age. And because of that, there have been changes within 4th and 5th dimensions on this planet. And it was not so easy after that to proceed to live upon the surface on this planet, but it was not possible to stay not in the physical body. The system which we know as karmic reincarnation system has been created, and actually it was not allowed to stay not in a physical body for a prolonged periods of time. So therefore you have been forced to reincarnate or to incarnate, because before you haven't been used to incarnating and reincarnating, and the experience was not so pleasurable because you haven't been used to physical body. You started living your first lives within somewhere northern Africa, where we have Morocco and Sahara, Egypt, somewhere in those regions. Apparently there have been a couple of thousand years spent there, and the life in there was not so comfortable. Apparently it was followed by a lot of misery until you have accustomed to the physical body. After that, you understood that it is possible to live within the physical realm, because before that it seemed unnatural for you. Therefore, you decided that as long as you are here, you should probably do something useful with your lives, and you decided to try to intuitively recreate your like an etheric architect's talents, but it wasn't so easy and apparently wasn't so practical because it didn't work the way you have imagined it will work, and it didn't appear that it was very successful. So you decided to shift your profession. Apparently you decided to learn something similar to shamanism or like a medicinal shamanism, probably more appropriate term, meaning that you were working with certain like herbs and minerals or something like that, making some kind of tinctures or compounds or whatever, and those things had different results. Some of them cured illnesses, some have improved certain physical states, or maybe even created some mental states like hallucinogenic states or similar like that. This have been apparently within the somewhere in the Middle East, like in the Oriental region. This lasted also for maybe a couple of thousand years. And after that, apparently the idea was for you to also improve your own state, because you had this idea that for you it's hard to accustom to physical body, therefore you need certain chemical compounds to help you to acclimatizate within the physical realm and physical body. And apparently it helped you. You have been able to help yourself and help others who needed similar help. So moving forward, you came to Europe, and it was maybe approximately maybe 500 years after the Christ year. Apparently you had good skills in chemistry and decided to become like a chemist, create something like your apothecary or something like that. And in the beginning it seemed like a good idea, but after that, after some time, the Catholicism have risen to peak of its power, and actually they began to close down all sorts of businesses and activities which they found to be not suitable or not fitting their agenda, and therefore your business has been closed. After that, you found yourself lost again, not knowing how to live and what to do with your life. Some years have been followed by misery again, because you were not allowed to practice your own talents which you have developed. So some years have been like a traveler who have been just traveling around Europe, taking on some kind of day-to-day jobs, like for a couple of days you're working somewhere, and after that you move on, work somewhere else. Some lives have been spent like that, and apparently your last life has been in Germany, or apparently it was more like in the Hungary, but from the Hungary you moved to Germany, and you have been again chemist, and you wanted to practice some kind of chemistry, and there have been a lot of activity in Germany, so you moved in there and decided you were gonna have a career there. It was just apparently before the Second World War, and what happened that you began your science, your research there, but then after Nazis take over, Apparently they took over your business, they closed it down, and you didn't want to cooperate with them, and apparently you have been shot in the chest, and that was the end of that. Now moving forward, in this lifetime, you are not exactly sure about how to proceed with your life, because there have been too much setbacks, but despite that, in this lifetime, you will be able to rebalance all of those traumatic events which have happened to you. And after this lifetime, the purpose of this lifetime is more like balancing and repairing the damage which has been done to your soul during those past lifetimes. And after this lifetime, apparently you are going to go back to your etheric template creator's position. And apparently during this lifetime, you will, in the future years which are coming, you will gonna start moving more and more towards 4th and 5th dimensions, leaving physical body for prolonged periods of time. Apparently it's likely that something is going to affect that. It's not gonna be all natural. There might be some substances involved in that, and eventually you will move into the ultimate journey, that you will leave your physical body for sure and not return to it. Apparently it's still some decades away, but not too many decades. And after that you will stay within the non-physical planes, and there's gonna be some acclimatization, some orientation to reorient you to your former position, and you will return to the etheric architect's position, by which you will gonna start creating again. There's going to be a lot of work which needs to be done, and apparently you are the person for that job. Apparently this is going to last for at least a couple of hundred years, or might even take up to 1,000 years to completely reshape this planet. After that, you will gonna work in some open projects within our galaxy, and after that, apparently there's gonna be not much work anymore in here. So seems like you are going to return to Andromeda galaxy, and in there you are going to receive certain senior position. Some kind of senior position is meant for you, and it's not gonna be that much of a field work to create the blueprints. It's going to be more like overseer position, in which you are going to oversee other creators' work who will gonna be learning to create those etheric templates. Apparently this is going to be permanent position for coming quite a few thousand years. So that was that, sir. Does the story have answered some of your questions? That is just completely correct definition as you are describing it. Well, from our perspective, let's just put it this way. There is not so much time for your physical body as it is average for the physical body to exist. There is less than average. Yes, your now being in the Tenerife island is connected with the Atlantis. It was kind of colony of or part of Atlantis. And regarding your excessive dreaming and lucid dreaming, this is for you more natural to be in the dream state than in the physical state. So it's more for you, you're more used to the fifth and fourth dimension, which is astral and lucid dreaming states, than within the physical plane. And the way you are describing that supposedly you are dreaming stuff and it happens in your life, well, the thing what is happening, the way it looks from our point of view, is that in your, like, let's put it, subconscious state, you still have your talents to create and influence reality. And when you are dreaming, during the dream, you dream things, but actually you kind of create them in the dream. But because you have in your subconscious all that information, how to bring a dream into the physical world, so then you dream them, you kind of create them, or at least influence the physical reality. Therefore, you might be experiencing strange coincidences during which your life can be a bit abnormal for usual people, because they don't usually dream their reality, or let's put it this way, they are not able to bring their dreams in the physical reality. And that's for you, that's basically your job. You have to do this. It's just that at this moment you lost connection to that, to the ability to do it consciously, but subconsciously you are still able to do it. It's just that you are not aware of that. Non-socializing, you mostly, it is connected with a couple of things. First is that people have hurt you too much, too often during their lifetimes. It happened because usually you had a much broader perspective about how world should be and how lives should be lived. And well, not everybody agreed with that. And because you didn't acquire the necessary social skills, because you haven't been used to a physical realm and its limitations, it was difficult for you to express your ideas in the ways which normal person would understand them. Therefore, usually you have been misunderstood, and misunderstanding led to, let's just say, at least emotional or even physical violence, by which you made conclusion for yourself that it's easier to avoid social life, this way avoiding any potential conflict and dangers and damage which could come from that. So it's not meant for you to be a social person, and so there's nothing wrong with that regarding your, because based on your soul's experience, it's just normal state. More questions, or would you like to explore some of the photographs? Well, it's a bit difficult to answer this kind of question regarding communication, but there is not seen any kind of limitation in communicating the way we are communicating, because now this communication was meant to explore your soul's history. But if there is a need to explore additional topics, there is possibility to have more conversations, to plan for more conversations, and our perspective is to try to serve people and try to help people as much as it is possible from our point of view. So as long as we are able to serve people, we will do that. So let's explore the pictures. So in the first picture, you have open relationship with a girl with a white shirt. Yes. This person, apparently you had a relationship with this person before. Apparently it was you had 2 lifetimes together. One was in Spain and another was in France, but both have been unsuccessful. Apparently this person have deceived you and betrayed you with somebody else. So you have tried for 2 times, it was unsuccessful. Well, your point of view, because she betrayed you. And well, for some reason you decided to try to get in touch again. It's a bit unclear why you are meeting, but the way the energy looks, it appears that this person have like an agenda to hurt you, but and for you this relationship appears like a trap relationship where the person kind of is willing to be with you, but also is willing to betray you. So if you have this open relationship, probably it's for the benefit of you at least, is that this way you found like a way for you to not be betrayed again, because like you are not binded together. So in a sense you have solved this relationship. The person is not able to hurt you anymore because you are not binded together, if that is your wish. Now another person is mentor and a friend with a beard. This person is this person has some karmic debt for you. He was a priest, actually the priest who have closed your apothecary, chemical shop, and later on he understood that he made a mistake by that act, and he promised to return you the favor. He will make up to that somehow. So he found you in this lifetime, and he decided he will do anything what he can to somehow feel like he helped you. And even though probably you don't have any resentment for him and you have nothing to forgive to him because you don't remember that, so it's difficult. But besides that, the person has to feel that he somehow helped you, and act of helping you will gonna put his soul at rest, that he will feel like yes, I have like atoned myself and I'm not guilty for what I did before. So therefore person is a reliable friend from this point of view. Another picture is also open relationship with the girl in a white shirt. This person had an idea. She was an explorer of like an energy explorer. She wanted to explore strange and different things. You in her life is something sort of a strange and different thing that she prefers. And also this person has certain like let's call it some cosmic vibrations which also benefit you, because by being with her you are both in a certain way strange, and your both strangeness like they accompany each other and fulfill each other. So it's a good friendship, and it doesn't necessarily have to be even a relationship. It could be just friendship. You are more like friends, and I guess we will leave it at that. Now, a redhead girlfriend. This person actually is a long-term friend. Actually was a man before when you were friends. We were both manly friends, like man friends, but not in a intimate man friendship, just man friends. And you were like travelers and explorers. You have met for a few lifetimes to travel together. And well, there was always that strange idea about what would happen if you were of the opposite sex, and what would happen then. So well, the idea for this lifetime, because you kind of abandoned that friendship. The friendship before was just that you both needed to travel and to experience the world and whatever travelers do. And after that, there was no need to proceed with that friendship after the travels have ended, but you always wondered. So in this lifetime, you met. The idea was to see what would happen if we were the opposite sex. Then would it be possible that some kind of intimate relationship could become of that or not? And we decided to lightly explore that idea, and you kind of are exploring it in the moment. Now, in the next picture, we have two beings. These two beings, apparently you had met them before. Apparently, at least one of them. The one on the right side was your dog before on one journey, but there was some kind of sickness or disease, and the being had to pass away, and there was some. It doesn't felt like that lifetime was so fulfilled completely. So there was idea to return again, and the left one was kind of a friend of the right one, and he brought him together somehow. Not exactly sure how that happened, but that was the idea. The idea was that they have to be together because somehow it's safer together for them. Besides that, there doesn't seem to be anything special about this relationship unless you have something to inquire or ask about. Well, these beings, first of all, their idea is to create some kind of safety for you. They have this idea, they want to create safety for you, but also they want to spend time with you, at least the right one. And the left one is the back kick support. So in a sense, we can state that it was meant for you to meet, because it was the wish of you both to meet again, because there was not enough time in that one lifetime that you have been together. Had it not had that sickness and did not died prematurely, then there might be not need to meet in this lifetime. But there is something with these beings. To put it simply, they have to be in your life at this moment, regardless you see the meaning or not. So, is there any more questions what you would like to explore? The answer to this question is going to sound not normal. Are you really willing to hear it, or would you consider putting it off and not proceeding further? The purpose of this life is to, let's just put it this way, to live it and to end it, because there is not too much left. It's necessity, because you are not able to function properly within the 3D realm, and you have talents which you need to realize, and you need to be in a different state to perform your best. What you do is to create those etheric templates, and from the physical state you are unable to do that. Therefore, you feel like you are not able to realize your potential. You need to work from the non-physical plane. So Aether, you need to be able to go into some kind of suspended animation state and work from non-physical planes to assist this planet, or you need to leave this body and work from there. So the idea is to wait until circumstances are appropriate for you to leave, and then to leave, and after leaving, start doing what you usually do, to assist creation of physical realm, but not from physical realm, because this realm is binding you, and you know that it's not a place for you in here. Therefore, there is not too many relationships, there is not any kind of bindings or stuff like that, because you are preparing for the departure, and the less you have bindings, the easier is the departure. Can you repeat the question again? Yes, actually, your travels regarding South America are going to be where you are going to experience certain elevated conscious experiences, where you will experience certain let's say plants or some kind of substances which are going to put your consciousness in a state which is not physical state, and in there you are planning on meeting certain shamans which are going to help you to begin preparation for transition. Certain people apparently are meant for you to be met. They're going to be your teachers, and they will gonna help you to transition consciously, not by some kind of accident or whatever. It's gonna be a conscious transition. It's gonna take some years to do that, but you will gonna learn it and you will gonna balance it. So basically that's the plan. Yes, the shamans which are meant for you to be met, they are going to assist you into balancing all of your past traumatic experiences, and it's going to be intensive time, but you are ready for that. So, and you are going to be assisted, and that's your plan. So you're gonna do everything which are meant for you to be done. Well, so it was a pleasure to serve you, sir. Your soul is an advanced soul which has a lot to do and is willing to do it as fast as it can. It's just that we are not in a appropriate time yet, but we are preparing for that, and things will gonna hold out naturally for you, and you will be ready, and your life is unfolding according to the higher plan, despite how it may look, but actually your soul is highly, or at least more than averagely attuned to its higher mind, and is able to intuitively follow its heart. Therefore, Therefore, you are experiencing things a little bit differently than usual person. This usual person is usually follows certain social patterns of trying to fit itself into the social norms or something like that. That's not your case. In that case, you are a bit more advanced than that, but that's how it should be. That's how you need to be. So this is a lifetime for you to prepare, and after that you will gonna do a lot of work which needs to be done, and we are all looking forward to see that job done. So okay, sir, we are thanking you for the ability to communicate, and we are hoping that we were able to serve you at least in some way. And if this conversation was useful for you, there is a possibility to say thank you for that. There are some options from which you can choose. During coming weeks, there might be intensiveness in dreaming and something which is regarding the non-physical states. This is because we have opened this soul gate, and there have been new energies, so you are welcome to explore them. Of course, the energies are going to subside a little bit after a couple of weeks, but in I guess 2 weeks period, we are going to release this record which we made from our side, and it is going to assist you if you will gonna be willing to remember this conversation again and what we have touched. Maybe something will gonna be forgotten, or you want to remind yourself. You will be able to listen to it again and to put you in this state again. And if you will gonna have additional questions after you will gonna listen to this conversation, you are welcome to try and to get this meeting to be prolonged for the next time, and maybe next time you will gonna have more questions if you are in need of our service. So that's that. So thank you for the conversation, and we wanted to wish you all the best.